Hey guys, Novel Bullshit here, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to go through some more monsters I want to return from Monster Hunter Wilds. We got 5 normal monsters, 2 elder dragons, and 1 monster in particular I do not want to see return. Let's get into this. Now first of all, let's start with Zamtros. One of my favorite monsters to come out of Monster Hunter 4. He's just a cool monster. He's a shark ice monster who has 3 stages to his fight. He first starts off in his normal stage, where he's just his normal shark mode. He has a lot of ice attacks, a lot of charge. He digs underground, which is pretty cool, pretty interesting. But then if you get him enraged, after attacking him for a while, he actually puts on his ice armor and he gets more aggressive, bigger moves. And he actually has some charge moves too, which was really cool. And one of the cool things you can take advantage of is, even though he gets faster and stronger in this mode, if you break the arms, he actually falls over, which gives you more of an opportunity to attack him back. I always thought that was really cool and really nice mechanic, where a monster has a lot of benefits, but they also have some negatives with that. You can also bounce off of the hard spots on his arms. You know, they get stronger and harder, so with better sharpness you won't bounce off. But if you can break them, you get some time in to really damage him. I want you to damage him even more. He then goes on to his fat mode, and this mode is pretty damn funny. He just rolls up like a pufferfish. It's like a shark pufferfish. I don't know what to call this guy, but he just blows up and then he starts jumping on you, starts rolling over you. It's a great fight, it's a great experience, but his belly becomes so goddamn weak. You just do so much fire damage on his belly. I just love using my lance and just drilling into him. One of my favorite ways to fight. If you're watching the footage in the background right now, you're going to see him just go from stage to stage so quickly. That killing Zamtros with a lance is so piss easy, and it's so much fun actually. But because he becomes so much larger and his attacks are so much bigger, it's quite interesting that now we actually get that weakness on his body to exploit. And I've always just loved Zamtros. I've loved his weapons always looked cool. His armors looked even better. I liked his hammer, I liked his lance. You know, I really like his weapons, honestly. So I would love to see him come back, and I think he deserves it, because in Rise we had the small Zamites, but we didn't get the big Zamtros, which is a big problem for a lot of people. A lot of monsters in Rise, we got the small ones, we didn't get the big ones. So Zamtros should have been in that game, given we did have other frogs in that game. We have frogs in this game now. We have Chachacabra, who's an amphibian, so you know, there's more of a likelihood that Zamtros could get into the game, and I think he deserves it. Now, one of the bigger things for me, if we get Zamtros in this game, we're also going to get a subspecies, Tiger Stripe Zamtros, which I thought is actually one of the best monsters throughout Monster Hunter history for subspecies. I think it's the pinnacle of what subspecies should do. He's different, he's quirky, plays with a similar mechanic, but in a different way. Tiger Stripe uses Paralyze rather than Ice, and yeah, it's just a really cool fight. I don't really have access to 4U right now to play. I mean, I do have my 3DS, which I could load it up, but to get footage, I don't have any type of system for that. So I'm not going to do that, guys, but yeah, I would love to see him back. It would be a great fight, honestly. Zamtros, and in the expansion, Tiger Stripe. Let's make it happen. Next, we got my boy Qurupeco. Now, on my last one for top 5 monsters I want for Wild, someone did say Qurupeco, and Qurupeco for me, I was teetering if he's going to be my top 5, because one of the monsters I really like and I always love. I can try it and through you. So I thought, you know what, I'll go add him into this one because I love the monster. It's an awesome monster idea from that game. He's a living hunting horn, basically. He can play songs from his nose, mouth, whatever. And as he plays songs, he gets buffs. He can attack up, he can get defense up, he can heal himself and heal other monsters in the area too, which is pretty cool. And also, if you damage him while he's doing his songs, he can accidentally heal or buff his opponents, which is us, which is really cool. And yeah, if you damage him enough, if he's tired, he can't play songs, he gets really winded and down, but he's just a cool mechanic, a monster built around weapon mechanics. I think it's just awesome. But the thing he's most famous for is he can call other monsters to come and assist him when he's in trouble. Now, there are a couple monsters he may call back in Monster Hunter Tri and 3. One of them was the Great Jaggy. I mean, Great Jaggy isn't that scary, but you can call Great Jaggy. Now, the other one is Devil Joe, which is scary as fuck. In that game, calling a Devil Joe, and the first time you're like, who did he call in G rank? You don't know who he's calling because it's your first time coming to G rank. You'll find one of the starter monsters in G rank, and then you see a big ass Devil Joe show up. It's game over. It's actually game over. So that was quite exciting to see that happen. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Qurupeco was great. Qurupeco is such a good monster. He excites me quite a lot. But if we bring him back, we also have to bring Devil Joe, because one can't come without the other. To be honest, in my opinion, it's kind of been a disservice in Monster Hunter 4, in Monster Hunter World, without having Qurupeco. It doesn't feel the same because they came into Monster Hunter in the same game. I actually cannot believe they had Devil Joe without Qurupeco for all these years. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy of the highest order. Capcom, what have you been doing? How have you allowed this? It shouldn't have happened. Now, Devil Joe is one of the OG big boy monsters from Tri. my game, my origin to Monster Hunter, he was scary. He's deadly, and his legs are tiny, but they hurt. They hurt. The motherfucking original T-Rex Devil Joe is really good. Now, he's gone through a lot of iterations and changes actually throughout the series. From Try being more simple with charges and dragon breaths to For You, where he would actually throw his dragon breaths, which was kind of scary, and he had a lot of trips. He would mount you quite often. It was quite controversial for one of my friends. Shout out to Inferno. He didn't like that change. I remember back then when we were playing, back, what was that, 8 years ago now? He didn't like that. And then in GU, he's pretty similar to how he was in For You. Him and Savage, obviously if you have Devil Joy, you need to have Savage as well, right? It just kind of goes in hand. Not too much different there, but he's faster. He's very fast, Devil Joy in GU. I don't remember him being that fast in For You or Try. I think they just buffed him up just to kind of, you know, make sense for the game. And then World and Iceborne. In World, he wasn't too tough, to be honest. I know we had that quest. There was that quest, the World Eater Devil Joe, that was pretty damn tough. The other one was kind of piss easy. The Tempered one was definitely really tough. I remember back then. It took me a couple tries to get him down, but when you got him down, it felt great. It was a good fight. And then Savage Devil Joe in Iceborne is cool. He has a lot of interesting, lingering dragon energy attacks on the ground and very ferocious, which I think they actually did a really good job on Savage Devil Joe in that game. So if we can bring Devil Joe into this game, you know, this game, they love ugly, aggressive monsters, and Devil Joe is an ugly, aggressive monster. I think we need him. We need someone to balance out the ecosystem. Now, the only thing about Devil Joe, I was actually hesitant to put him on this list. And the only reason he's on this list is because of Kurapeko. If Kurapeko wasn't on this list, Devil Joe wouldn't be on this list, honestly. Because I feel like we need more newer invasion monsters. You know, we've had Devil Joe has been in the Invader monster for quite a while. Then Bazogis came in. Now, Bazogis is kind of taking that role in Synchronous at sometimes, but, you know, Devil Joe wasn't in Rise. Bazogis was. And I think, no, we're in a new gen, we're in a new era, in a new continent, it seems like. I think a new Invader monster would be great, but I want Kurapeko. If Kurapeko's in, then Devil Joe has to be in. So they come hand in hand. What can I say? They're brothers in arms, honestly. Like, big boy Devil Joe is looking after Kurapeko. This is how it needs to be. So that's what I want to see. That's honestly what I want to see. Next one. I don't know if many people agree with this. I think the For You and the GU enjoyers will definitely be like, yeah, Nova, you hit the nail on the head on this one. Celtus Queen and Celtus. Now, obviously, I could have said Celtus Queen because Celtus by itself is useless, but Celtus Queen by itself isn't really that crazy either. It's pretty simple, a slow turning moving monster, nothing crazy. But when you put them together, when you bring the mecha, the connection, when they combine into one unit, big monster, crazy moves, crazy damage, very versatile. I love the fight, honestly, I love the fight, and it's actually very scary. Definitely hyper in GU, man, that is some scary shit. Now, I think they're amazing, the way they synchronize their moves, the way they attack. The charge attacks are brutal. You know, that typical Monster Hunter charge in freeze, you know, that's quite actually common in many games. A lot of monsters do things in freeze, so charge one way, then another. Very deadly. And not only does that, the shotgun, water, pistol moves, it kind of comes out of nowhere sometimes. It's like they just shoot out, and it's like, you need to pay attention because you actually can see her mouth frothing with water, and when it starts to do that, that's when you know she wants to spew on you. I don't know, that's kind of dirty. Like, damn, Celtus Queen, what are you doing? Why are you spitting us like that? Crazy. Trying to butt us up. Give us water blight, you know. Celtus gives us, I think he gives us elemental down or defense down, one of the two, I can't remember now. But yes, those two would be great, to be honest, to have back. And one of the coolest things about them is when Celtus Queen gets tired, the way that she kills the Celtus, she actually kills the Celtus brutally and eats him for energy. And then a new Celtus will just come and replace that one. Like, Celtus is a Simpson monster, and the original Sim, the Celtus, come on. Living up for a queen, what can I say? He's doing his work, he's doing it good. You can't fault him too much, man. He's just living it. And she has no remorse, and I love it. I actually love it. Now, another cool thing, similar to Zamtros, we got Desert Celtus and Desert Celtus Queen, which I think were pretty cool back in Monster Hunter 4U. There were also paralysis. I like having more paralysis monsters, you know. Let's get some more status monsters so we can have that for the expansion. That'd be great, honestly. So I would love Celtus Queen to come back. Celtus, you know, they come hand in hand. You know, this list has a lot of monsters that come hand in hand, you know. Kurapeko, Devil Joe, Celtus Queen. The duos, everyone, the duos. Now, this monster is its own duo, in a sense, Giganox. Giganox is a monster people have been begging for ages. I can't remember the last time Giganox was in the game. I think it was 3U. I don't think he came into 4U. I don't think so. Let's actually do some research quickly. No, I'm correct. Giganox was only in the 3rd generation. He didn't make it to 4th. He didn't get in 5th. We've had Kezu for days, for years. 4th, 5th, and, well, I guess we don't know about 6th, but I think it's Giganox time to rise. Ugly monsters, ugly crazy, unbelievable monsters. Giganox is one of them. You know, you don't really know what his head is. I mean, you can kind of tell where his head is, but it's not really a head. I don't know what this guy is, honestly. He's a poison monster, deadly poison. I think G-Rank does that toxic poison, which is crazy, and he does poison so much. You have to really think about investing into poison resistance. He's one of those monsters that really make you think about that. And for me, at least, because he was definitely older than Giganox, but Giganox was my original cave dwelling, climb up the walls, you know, poison from the air. And it's not even just that, it's also that he lays these egg sacs around the ceilings, the ground, and then these little Giganox spawns come out of them. And they just run up on you and start trying to bite you, start trying to suck your blood. It's like he spawns these little guys to kind of help him throughout the fight, and it's cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty creepy at the same time when you see them crawl up to you secretly. Now, I don't have any footage of myself for this guy because, well, he's not in Generations and he's not in any other game in 5th gen, so I don't have access to my Wii U currently. I don't know where I actually put it. I really wish I knew where I put my 3U because I would love to play 3U right now. I don't know where I put my Wii U and my 3U. Which is a shame. But Giganox is great. Honestly, I think he's a great monster. He has really quirky moves. He can even put an egg sac on his back in G-Rank and does the really weird poison attacks, basically, which I always liked. Yeah, I would definitely like him to come back in this game. We definitely need status monsters, like I said, and having him as a poison status monster would be great. I don't think so far we've actually seen any status for this game. I'm actually just looking at the list right now. No status monsters. Every monster, well, okay, Lala Brina is the only status monster from my knowledge. Unless Rapapumbo, whatever his name is, big insect ugly brute guy has a status. I don't know. Every other monster is element or nothing. So, you know, more status the merrier, right? In my opinion. So yeah, bring status back. You know, make status great again, I suppose. Let's do this. Now we're going on to the Elder Dragons. Two big boy 4th gen enjoyers will love these two. Firstly, Gogmagnios. Gogmagnios is a monster that needs to come back. Obviously, like, I thought he was going to come back in the 5th gen, honestly. He didn't come back. Now, a long time ago, I had a rumor that there's some type of Godzilla monster coming back into this game. I don't know if that's true or not. That was a long time ago, probably like a year ago I heard that rumor. If he came back, I would love it. Because Gogmagnios is an awesome monster, he's an awesome theme, and one of the best siege fights in Monster Hunter history, honestly. He has a lot of mechanics, with cannons, with fighting on the ground, with Dragonators. He has a Dragonator in his back. If you damage him enough, he drops a Dragonator from his back, and then you can use the Dragonator from his back on the ground onto him. It's just cool, man. It's honestly so cool. He's full of tar. He drops tar from his body, oozing on the ground, blows up. He has these big fire beams as well. I think he's the only tar monster in Monster Hunter, you know. Well, now we got Rapapumbo. I'm saying his name definitely wrong, but it's something like that. And he's living in the tar area, you know, in the 3rd map. And the oil well basin, I think it's called. And it would be great for Gogmagnios to be in that map. I mean, I know Gogmagnios is huge, but I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be huge areas in that map that he could be in. I think that would be fantastic, or a scene for him to exist in. And just imagine how powered up he would be when he has all this tar around him. Now, his lore is pretty damn interesting. Apparently, he's a monster that's been sleeping for a long time, so the guild at the time didn't even know he existed. But he woke up. He normally goes and eats gunpowder, and he uses the gunpowder to, I guess, power himself up, in a sense, I suppose. But yeah, he's just really cool. This idea of a walking tar fire monster. I've always liked him. I've always liked his fire. He uses fire, so you'd imagine that his weapons are fire, but no, they actually sleep, which is really cool. You know, an end game monster with sleep weapon. I want more status, like I've been saying, so he would be a great addition for my push. You know, push for status. Let's do this. Let's do this. Bring Gogmagnios back, man. I love Gog, man. I love Gog. His theme is so good. His theme is so good. And then next, like I was saying, 4th gen enjoyers would like this. Delamadur. Delamadur is great. I thought Delamadur would have been a great monster for Rise personally, but it's fine. This game, make it happen, Capcom. Make it happen. He's a great Elder Dragon, the biggest monster in Monster Hunter history. It's such a cool fight. Now, his fight might be a bit scripted in a sense where he's going to attack. It's very knowledgeable. He's going to attack, like you kind of know where he's going to attack. It's just so grand, and the feeling is so grand. Everything just feels so large in scale. Maybe because he's large, but you know. But it's so cool having this fight with other people. It's just a lot of teamwork. Some people attacking his hands, some people attacking his body, his head, climbing up. There was this cliff part, I remember, you climb up to attack a certain part of his body. Like, it's just so cool. All these aspects, different aspects, his tail, him moving around, you see him actually move, this large monster. It's great. It's amazing. And just imagine what they could do with the technology now in the 6th gen. I can't believe this guy, 6th gen, next month. It's wild. That's crazy. I'm just thinking about this right now, off script. I don't even have a script to this video, to be honest. I'm just deep in it. 6th gen, and now that in this new gen, the amount of things they could do with these monsters that they've already pushed to the previous maximum in 5th gen, now we're pushing beyond that. That we're going Super Saiyan 3 or something like that in this gen. This is going to be amazing, and the things they could do for Delamadeur, Gog Magnus, all these monsters would be great. Now, Delamadeur specifically, we don't know much about him. Even in lore, from what I remember, there's not much known about this guy. So if they can bring him back and bring more into who he is and what he is about, I would love it. It will just be a really nice siege type fight. It's not really like a siege. It's more like just a boss battle, a boss arena fight in one particular area. But there's just a lot of stuff going on, and his beams are crazy. They're crazy big, they're explosive, they're cool to look at, and I could just imagine so much spectacle they would add into his fight for the 6th gen for Wilds. So I'm so excited. 6th gen is here, guys. Next month is Wilds. Crazy, absolute crazy. And the last monster, guys, the monster I do not want to return. Now, some of you are gonna disagree. Some of you guys want this guy. I know you want this guy, but I don't want this guy. Not anymore. No, not for a while. I think he needs to rest. I think he needs to chill. This guy needs to relax. Now, what monster I'm talking about? The motherfucking golden monkey, Super Saiyan Rajang. He needs to step away from Monster Hunter for a bit. He needs to go chill and then come back strong. Now, why do I say this? First, let's do a bit of history. He wasn't in Tri. He wasn't in 3U. My first experience of Rajang was in 4U, and he was brutal as fuck. He beat my ass a lot of times. I don't know if I fought the 141 Rajang. I probably did. It's been a while, and I fought him a lot in GU. He beats my ass still, but it's a good fight. In World, he beat my ass as well. Iceborne, you know, I got my revenge. I beat him both of them. And in Rise, he's much easier than he was in Iceborne. Given Iceborne, yeah, sometimes they don't really. It's not really a fair fight in my opinion. In some aspects, he uses moves way too fast after the other. You don't really get a window. Even in the old gen, you did get windows, but I guess, you know, they changed it to balance all the other stuff you can do now in the new games. But him being easy in Rise isn't the reason why I think he needs to step away. I just think he needs to step away because I think he's been in too many games now in a row. Rajang should be the monster who's more like a special event. I think when Rajang's around too much, him being a monster to teach people, yo, this is what real Monster Hunter is about under the hardcore scale of difficulty, I think it kind of takes away from it when he's around too much. I think he needs to be more special. He needs to be treated special, and he's not special right now because he's been in every game since Monster Hunter 4U. That's the problem. Yes, he wasn't in base world, but apart from that, he's been in every single game. And I think the only way they could actually bring Rajang back for me, if they change it. They don't bring Rajang, they bring a variant instead. Something different to mix up who Rajang is. And don't even bring the base. Like, forget the base. Bring a variant. Do what you did with Crimson Grove, Valstrax in Rise. Bring a variant, because I fought Rajang too much. He needs a break. You know, and that was one of the cool things for me. He wasn't in 3 or Tri or 3U. So when I saw him 4U, I was like, wow, this is cool. This is a new monster that it's a legendary monster for Monster Hunter Dos. One of those games, I think, in that gen, the 2nd gen. And yeah, he destroyed me. I was like, wow, so this is old Monster Hunter. This is great. But now he's there all the time. So that feeling, I mean, it's just not there. He needs to take a break. He needs to relax. We just need more monsters like that. So rather than just always taking from the old when it comes to these brutal, these staple archetypes like we have with Deviljoy and Invader, or Rajang with the noob ass kicker, we need new monsters to take their place, right? And then yeah, maybe eventually in the expansion, if you want to bring one of them back, sure. But I think in general, we need to focus more on new monsters on these roles and not just on old monsters for these roles, because with new monsters you can add in new mechanics, new feelings, new dangers. You know, let's think of Monster Hunter World, for example. Bazigis was cool for a lot of people because that idea of Invader in that sense was different. He came in, he bombed you from the sky. Most times you didn't see him coming. I mean, you did see him coming. You heard the theme tune. You heard it and you're like, oh shit, it's too late. Someone's gonna die. There were so many times like that when I was younger, playing on Xbox. My brother and his friend, people just died out of nowhere. And we didn't expect him to come. Obviously, he came a bit too often and it was kind of annoying. In base world, they fixed that in Iceborne. He doesn't come as often, which I'm grateful for. But that type of feeling was only able because they decided to make a new monster with a similar idea to fit a similar role, but in a different way. So I think it's quite important that they do that. So if you can have a similar idea for Rajang, that noob ass kicker, you need to make sure you play the game correctly, glass cannon type monster, then I would be happy. And I think it will just lead to better gameplay for everyone in general. Anyway, there guys, that's it from me today. Let me know what you think down below. What monsters do you want to see return, and is there a monster that you don't want to see return? You know, let me know down below. I'm interested to see what you guys think and what you have to say. I'm always reading comments down below, so yeah, leave a comment, like, subscribe if you want to see more Monster Hunter Wilds content, discussion, all this other stuff. Yeah, stick around, man. Stick around, because I've got a lot going on for the next month or two into Wilds, and even after that into when Wilds is going out. We're going to be playing a lot of Wilds, and I'm excited for that. So yeah guys, I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.